Hola, big compadres, Brian the Boat here, and today I wanted to share 5 facts that you probably need to know about Iden Versio, who is the main protagonist in Star Wars Battlefront's 2 main campaign. So let's get started with number 1. But before I actually start, I do have to mention that this was a video that was posted by EA. It was a couple of seconds long, and I felt like I could add some substance to the video. So with that being said, you can find the video yourself, but some information will not be found on that video. So I will be adding some more content or some more information that the video does not tell. So let's start off with number 1. She was raised on an Imperial homeworld, and that homeworld of hers is Vardos, and Vardos was they joined the Empire without the Empire having to put them under martial law or having to take over the planet, and that is thanks to Iden Versio, the father of Iden Versio. He's now the admiral, one of the admirals in the Galactic Empire. So because of him, Vardos peacefully joined the Empire and now is a part of the Empire. And Iden Versio's mother helps with propaganda and some artistic things around the planet Vardos. And Vardos, the planet itself, is a little violent with the weather. It's very stormy, kind of reminiscent of, if that's even a word, it reminds me, there you go, it reminds me of the planet Comedo, but not much so, because Comedo is a very rainy planet, but what Vardos is really is a, just a really stormy planet, just with storms, without really any rain, to be honest with you. But the planet does contain a lot of nice trees. The trees are red, and and they're surrounded by a pond, and when the leaves fall and hit on the pool of water, it resembles blood in a sense. So also, it seems like Vardos is a playable map in the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, so that should be very exciting to see, being able to play on the new planet Vardos. Now for number 2, she leads the Inferno Squad. The Inferno Squad was assembled after the destruction of the first Death Star, so that was during the Battle of Yavin. So with that being said, she was not part of the Inferno Squad or the others as well, so they were not involved in the Inferno Squad because at that time it was not made. But the people who are in the Inferno Squad are as follows: is Gideon Hask. He is known to be very zealous for his work, and he takes his work very seriously. Now we have another person by the name of Del Miko. He's more of the comedic relief. It seems like he was raised in from Coruscant, where the Jedi reigned at that time. So we could see a little tension there, where maybe Mr. Gideon hates the Jedi, but Dale over here might respect him. Might respect the Jedi, because maybe we don't know how he feels like towards the Jedi, because he was being raised during the time of the Jedi, where they weren't being purged, being killed. But the Inferno Squad was made after the Battle of Yavin, so after the destruction of the Death Star, they were chosen to be part of the Inferno Squad. And that will lead up to number 3, and Iden Versio was witnessed the both of the destruction of the first Death Star and the second Death Star. And how she witnessed the first death of the Death Star was when she was trying to destroy a fleeing starfighter, and then the Death Star blew up. And she saw it, and she luckily survived the humongous explosion from the Death Star. And then, obviously, the second time, she witnessed it on Endor when the second Death Star blew up, and pretty much then, she was pretty much done with the rebellion and, triggered, because, if you were part of the Empire and you saw the Death Star get destroyed twice by a bunch of terrorists, you'd probably get triggered as well. You'd probably, ask yourself, how can a bunch of terrorists blow up 2 massive star stations? You gotta ask yourself that. So she will probably talk about it in the game, no doubt, because she's we can probably expect that, because she probably has some hard feelings about that. And then number 4, she commands the Corvis. Now the Corvis is a Imperial Raider class corvette. It is smaller, I mean, obviously smaller than a Star Destroyer, and what that kind of ship was made for is for defending Star Destroyers and, bigger frigates in the Empire. They were meant to, take on, other smaller starships. So if you think about a Star Destroyer, like a regular Star Destroyer, but then think about it in a miniature way, so where, it can destroy, X-Wings and A-Wings, then yeah, that's the Corvis for you. So for the Corvis, that's home for the Inferno Squad. So we'll be expecting to see a lot of gameplay from the Corvis. So I assume, because they do, pretty much sleep within the Corvis. And also, it could be a loading screen as well. That's not confirmed. That's only speculation. That's my speculation that the Corvis could be a loading screen where we're going to different planets. I'm more thinking about Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, kind of like that kind of gameplay. If you think about it, if you remember where like you were inside the I think it was called the Twilight, probably not the Twilight, but the Eclipse. So you were in the Eclipse and you're just chilling, before you went into a planet. So I think it may play like that. But I think the gameplay of the Corvus might be very interesting. So I can't wait. And also I think it has been confirmed that we will be docking ships. Well, one of the missions in the campaign will deal with you playing as the Corvus trying to dock into a rebel frigate. I'm not sure what kind of ship it is that you're exactly boarding, but you're boarding a ship. So I've heard. Probably heard it incorrectly, but that's something for you to double check, and I apologize if I did not get that right at all. And if I did get it right, hey, I know my stuff. And then finally, for number 5, she has her own theme music. So for me, I like it when a hero or a person in the in Battlefront, in Star Wars in general, has their own music. So with that being said, I feel like Star Wars is obviously taking Iden Versio very seriously. She's not just an asset in the game, she's really an asset in the entire canon of Star Wars. Because obviously the story of the Inferno Squadron, that's canon. It's not, legends or anything. It's absolute canon. And it seems like the story mode in Battlefront 2 will lead to very important situations that caused the First Order. So that would be really interesting to see how that goes and how they try to manipulate that. But if you listen to the trailer, I think the first trailer that was launched in the for Battlefront 2, you can actually hear her music being played. So it's very dramatic, but it's very ominous and somewhat peaceful, because towards the end of the trailer you could hear a piano playing a small part of the Imperial March, and I like that. That sounds very menacing in a sense. Though Iden Versio is shaping up to be a very great character. And, some people might say, like, oh, but she's just a woman, they're trying to go for the feminist agenda. I was like, I don't really care, I kind of like the fact that she's a woman, it's pretty cool. So, with that being said, I cannot wait to play as Iden Versio. I cannot wait how her story will be developed in the new campaign of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And overall, my thoughts about Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that Star Wars Battlefront 2 will redeem Star Wars Battlefront, or just the Star Wars Battlefront franchise in general. But also, you have to remember that this is a reboot. This Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 is a reboot. It's not the same as the pandemic version of Star Wars Battlefronts, because I believe people who have played Star Wars Battlefronts 1 and 2, the 2004 and 2006 version, will say that that is the best Star Wars Battlefront ever to be ever released. So with that being said, we'll see if they will change their minds when Star Wars Battlefront 2 releases. I personally think it might. Obviously, you can't change bias, but maybe this might change. This might change, so we'll see what happens. But that's all I have to say about Iden Versio, so thank you very much for watching this video. If you have not done it already, give this video a like to support the Droid Army. Don't forget to subscribe, because I will be making more content about Star Wars Battlefront 2 once it is released, or whenever the beta comes out, which is October 4th. So that's for only pre-early access. If you want to get that, you have to pre-order Star Wars Battlefront 2. It doesn't really matter which version you get. I got the deluxe version because I'm a freaking noob. So yeah, make sure you get that to play in the early beta, so you can get early access to it. And this is Brian the Bold signing out. Stay bold out there.